Hey, I want to show you something downstairs. Come on, it's not a torture dungeon. It's not a torture dungeon anymore. Okay, I want to show you something cool. So come on. It's really cool. It's very significant. Alright, so this cool blue case has been around a long time. But what's inside of it is more exciting and cool. This is my Paul Reed Smith McCarty Solidbody 2001, and we're going to talk about it here on this episode of Gear Talk. Gear Talk. Gear Talk. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Derek from Sempervivi, and going to do something a little different than what we usually do, and that's do a little gear talk. How about that? I'm going to talk to you today about my main guitar, and that would be this right here. It is a 2001 Paul Reed Smith McCarty Solidbody. I bought this guitar new in 2001 when I was a poor, broke college student, and I still have my first guitar, which I still have, and sometimes I break it out, but it's not really like, a gigging guitar. I record with it, and sometimes I'll practice with it, but it's, once you get past the 14th fret, it's a little bit dodgy on that Les Paul copy. If you ever see me playing that white guitar, I've played a few of our videos and stuff. At that time, here in 2001, and I'd had that guitar for about 4 years, and it needed some real work and a lot of repair. And my band at the time, Stellar Kin, we were about to do some, big shows. So I was really, looking to get something new. At the time, I just had my eyes set on a Gibson Les Paul double cutaway. I just had this image in my head of, wow, it'd be cool to have a Les Paul double cutaway. When I was just Googling, messing around on the internet, looking at guitars and stuff, I kind of got to thinking about, wow, a lot of my favorite artists are playing Paul Reed Smith, and at the time that was, like 311, Collective Soul, Creed. And I just loved how they looked, how they sounded, and I was just kind of curious. And so I was going to college in Murray, Kentucky at the time, Murray State University, go Racers. Nashville wasn't super far, and I just typed in Paul Reed Smith, Nashville, Tennessee, and this exact guitar showed up, and I love how it looks, on the screen. Like this, royal blue is kind of like my 1A favorite color, like purple's my favorite color, and royal blue is like, sort of my second favorite color, and some days it's my first, right? So I saw this, I was like, oh gosh, that's gorgeous, wow. And it said Guitar Heaven, Antioch, Tennessee. Pretty sure it's still there. So I got my friend Aaron, and we rolled down to Nashville to go check it out. I showed up with my friend Aaron, and I picked it up and I played it for about a minute, and I was like, this is the one. I mean, you guys know how that is, you musicians know, you pick up a guitar and it's like, wow, this is the guitar for me. Big old fat, it's like a wide fat neck, I think they call it. I mean, it's like a freaking baseball bat. I love it. It practically plays itself. I got pretty big hands, I guess. Rosewood fingerboard. I don't have the birds, but I have the moon inlays. It's sort of like, it's like the phases of the moon and abalone. Actually, they're all crescent moons. Now that I look at it, I never thought that much about it. This was listed as a 10 top. The list price on this guy in 2001 was $3,400, and there's a very slight inclusion. I don't think that you can see that, but right about here, there's a very slight inclusion in the finish where it comes out a nice little translucent green, just like one little tiny stripe, a few inches long. And so just for that, I mean, it was knocked down to about $2,250. And so I'm like, all right, I have to have this guitar in my life. I put this guy on layaway, and I would come down there in person to make my payments. That might be kind of a foreign concept to people nowadays, I don't know, but back then, I would, save up some money, and then I'd make a payment every month or whatever. So every month I would come down there, and I would, kind of visit the guitar, so to speak. And the dude that worked there, I don't want to be mean, but the guy was mean to me. You know, like every time I would go, he would be like, he would get onto me because like, look, it's a real drag for me to get this thing out every time that you want to come here and play it. Because, you know, it's in the back, it's in this box and blah, blah, blah. And this is gonna sound really mean, but the guy had kind of jacked up hands. Like, I mean, like he could not play guitar, there's no way. And he's working in a guitar store. To me, that sounds like torture. So I kind of felt like he was taking it out on me. Like, you know, how dare you have the audacity to play this guitar that you're paying for? I don't know. But I got kind of tired of that. And so I just said, well, listen, I'm gonna pay this off early, and I kind of need it anyway. So this is so dorky, but like I went to the bank and got a loan to pay for the rest of this guitar. So I don't know. I mean, like that was my first loan. My dad like co-signed for it for me. So I don't know. It's just funny that like all the goofy hoops that I went through to get my first like really, really nice guitar. And I love it as much. 20 years later, it's the 20th. That's why one of the reasons why I'm doing this is the 20th anniversary of me owning this guitar. And I wanted to tell you guys about it because it's a really awesome, special instrument to me. I've gone on several tours with this, you know, with previous bands. Like right now, I'm sort of like, you know, homebound, I guess you could say. I mean, like between the pandemic and also, you know, I mean, like I got a family and stuff now, so I'm not really looking at like touring anymore. But you know, we go out on the road some. You know, we might go for weekends and go play, you know, some cities within a reasonable distance of Lexington, Kentucky. But you know, this guy goes with me most of the time. Sometimes, you know, when I think we're going to be sort of in a sketchy area, I might take another guitar that's less expensive. But everything is second place to this. It plays so great. It feels awesome. I love it. A lot of people don't like some of these early. Well, this is not really early. I'm going to say like right now, sort of the mid period of Paul Reed Smith guitars. I think this particular model was maybe discontinued in 2008 or 2010. And I don't know. I don't like just play a ton of guitar. I don't go in the Guitar Center and mess around and play a lot of guitars. But the two main complaints people have about these guitars is like, number one, there's the heel right here. If you can see the heel, okay, it's got a big bump right there. Yeah, you can probably get a better shot at it right there, okay? So I'm not like a shredder, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm not like really concerned about, you know, willy, getting like all the way up here. So that's not a big deal to me, you know, it's fine. You know, if I'm up this high, I can rest my thumb right here on the heel and it's cool. You know, I can hit all the frets and it's cool. And some people like the pickup selector switch to be up here, like on a Les Paul. You know, but I like it here just fine. I don't really switch the pickups a whole lot. So that's not a big deal for me to go, you know, and switch it. And quite honestly, like my Les Paul copy, I'm all the time, like when I'm playing that, like I accidentally will switch, you know, the pickup. It's just, you know, kind of a, you know, I guess the placement, but it's also that pickup selector's a little finicky, I guess is the thing. I don't know. But anyway, this is a dead stock guitar, almost. So like the pickups on it they're just called, you know, McCarty bass and McCarty treble, but they are based on Gibson 57 humbuckers. And those are modeled after the first humbuckers, you know, that Ted McCarty was famous for kind of putting in guitars. Oh yes, the thing that's not stock, and one of the things that I kind of told the guy, I was like, okay, I want you to put a push-pull pot in this, so I could, you know, kind of do that number to, you know, split the coils and get sort of a single coil sound. And it's all right. I don't do it a lot. I really kind of do it, you know, just sometimes when I'm recording, or maybe I might be experimenting with a few sounds, so I could have, you know, like, you know, two single coils, or, you know, one single coil in the neck or one single coil in the bridge. So it's just kind of fun to mess around. I thought I would use it more than I did. I think they call this royal blue. I think whale blue is a little bit more of a gray. Speed knobs, that's a must on any of these kind of guitars. I love speed knobs. I'm just not big into the top hats. Again, it's selector switch. I don't know what, like 500K pots maybe, I don't know. Wrap around tailpiece, all-in-one tailpiece bridge deal. It's very simple. It's just simple setup. Like those you call those like Clusen style tuners. It stays in tune really well. It's awesome. The serial number is hand painted on the back, and it has a little 10 to signify the 10 top. Pretty rad. Rosewood fingerboard. I already mentioned the crescent moon inlays. Birds are cool, but I like that, this is something different that not everybody has. And, even the cheaper Paul Reed Smiths now have like the birds on them. If my house, burned down and this guitar was, taken in the fire, I would use the insurance money and go buy another one from the same period probably. Maybe I get a purple one, I don't know. But I love this guitar so much, and it's easy to play. I've taken it all around the country on tour. So like there's several little nicks and dings on this guitar, a few around the edges. With being like a 20-year-old guitar that's been played a lot and, gone all around the country on tour, still looks amazing, but it doesn't bother me having all these nicks and things. Guitars are made to be played, not to be in a glass case somewhere. The very first time that I put any kind of dent in this guitar, so to speak, is that I was having band practice with my band Still Kin, and it was just a few months after I bought this guitar, and we practiced in this little tiny room in the drummer's house. And so there was a point where we were hitting the groove and we were just rocking out like a screamo band. We rock out, and we just were doing that thing with the guitar, how like all the hardcore bands do. And so the bass player and I just both went clonk, hit headstocks, all right? And so everybody knew about my big expensive new guitar, and they were just, like the whole song just ground to a halt, and like everybody just stops and they just look at me, and the room is just like dead silent. And at that point it's just like, and I'm just like, well, it's gonna happen sometime, so might as well be now, no big, let's just keep rocking. So that was the story of the first nick that I got on the guitar. Again, pretty much dead stock. I played 11 gauge power slinkies, and I talked about the pickups and the volume pots and the push pull pot and all that. Speed knobs are awesome. It's really cool too. I like the simplicity of there's two knobs. There's one volume and one tone, and that's it, So less things for me to mess up on stage is always good, Since, I've just told you the whole origin story of this guitar, then I thought perhaps I could play a few riffs for you so you can hear it. On the Always Alive EP, primarily I just played this and my old Les Paul copy. And so most of the riffs and things you hear on that are using this guitar, Old Blue. So this is the main lick to the old song ADHDAD.
It's famous for its sustain. I mean, you can just hold it.
Well, so you'd have to play.
On Can't Please Everyone, I use a variety of guitars because Cole has a lot of cool stuff right there in the studio at Sight Glass Sound. But this guy always is number one in my heart. So if you hear this riff, the main riff on our first single on that record, the song Ride or Die, is like, it starts with an A over D. Played on the bridge pickup here, which I actually kind of lifted those chords a little bit from the song Crazy Train. There's another song from that record called Holding Steady, and it sounds really good, you know, with either the neck pickup or the neck and the bridge together. I'll do with the neck and bridge. So, you know, I just sort of arpeggiate that C sharp minor. So I almost get sort of like a little stratty kind of, you know, in between tone when I put the two pickups together. Finally, I'll play just like a little bit of the chorus chords from Get Hyped, also from that LP Can't Please Everyone. But these are common chords, you know, it's not just like, you know, the, you know, like power chords which permeate a lot of our music. You know, I play open, you know, common chords on that. So like when we're like really rocking out the chords at the end, it's like, you know, just like G, D, A, E minor, B, you know. Hopefully I'll be around for a really long time, and as long as I live, I want this guitar to be in my possession, and when I die, you have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. Not really. I promised it to somebody. I can't say who that is, but you know, it'll go to a good owner. Almost sort of like, you know, the story of my musical journey, like whatever I've been playing, whether I was playing in bands that play more like hardcore or screamo. You know, I played in a band that did more sort of almost like classic rock kind of stuff before. And now, you know, with Sempervivi, you know, playing the more pop punk rock kind of stuff, it's just a very versatile guitar, and it's never let me down. I mean, it stays in tune like a champ, and you know, it takes pedals really great, and it's just very musical. You can hear all the notes on those, you know, chunky open chords and stuff. And then, you know, it's great on the leads and stuff. It's just so clear and fat sounding. It's the bomb. It's thebomb.com. Thanks for hanging out with me and listening to me rattle on about my favorite guitar. And just like Sheryl Crow saying, you know, it's not having what you want, it's wanting what you've got. I want this guitar. I love it. I think fondly of it when I'm not actually playing it. So, strap locks. Put strap locks on your guitars. Got it? All right, that's my tip of the day. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. What's up, you guys? It's Derek from Sempervivi. Did you like that video? Rad, awesome. So please hit the like button and maybe leave us a comment, and also we'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you get all the notifications about our new videos. We've also got some merch and streaming music. Got links to those in the description to this video, so we'd really appreciate it if you check that out. Thanks.